There's a wee update now. I'm going to plumb up my heating now. I'm going to try the heating. But before I put a wee coat of paint on, I thought it'd be handy to paint the place before putting the pipes on. It'd be a lot easier. I'm not going to bother painting these walls here. I'll leave them walls alone. I've put all my wiring inside these conduit things here. I already had them lying in the shed. That just lies free, that one. That flex is a bit short, so it's a bit of an angle. You're not supposed to put it on an angle, but sure, I know if I'm banging nails in there, I can look over there. I'm not going to box that in. I might box that part in there, but I'll use the MDF. So that's the pipes going to the wee sink. So just thought, well, I'll give it a coat of paint. I'm right at it now. I'm going to use postcrete to fill up this floor now with them pipes are. Because I'm finished now hammering in the floor. The only thing I need to watch is that pipe there. The wee pipe that comes across. So it comes from here, under that pipe, across the radiator. That's about the only one I need to sort of look out for. Saying that, there'll be another one down here going to that one there. I've marked that with a red line. So just watch them bang screws in there, like. Because they're not very deep. So I'll get this postcrete in now. By the time that dries in, I'll give that another coat of paint. Before I put the radiator on here, you see there's a gap underneath that board. There's a real weight in the radiator. So I've got two types of self-leveling floor compound. I've got one that goes to 1 to 5 millimeters and one that goes from up to 10. If I kept mine, what is 25 millimeters or so? It would be 25. It's on the back anyway. So I'm going to put the postcrete inside this unit. So I'm going to get it and I'm going to pour some down inside there, so the postcrete oozes out the bottom. Or I'm saying that, not postcrete, self-leveling floor compound. I might even just try putting it there first, but I think even with them tiles, there might be a wee tiny gap, a tiniest wee gap there. So maybe I'll do that the night before going to my bed. Put the self-leveling floor compound on there and see about putting the radiator on tomorrow. So I've two self-leveling floor compounds, different depths. This cupboard here, I took off a whole lot of concrete there. You see the sand at the side there, how deep it is. Now this is all a cupboard, it doesn't have to be perfect, as long as I don't have no big step there, like. So the thick self-leveling floor compound will go on there. I don't want no stuff left over, because this is my last DIY project. So I'll fill that up there first. You see, it's all different depths, so I might just put a wee jug full of the deeper self-leveling floor compound in there and then put the finer stuff on top. By right, you should cover the whole entire floor. I don't want that, because it means I lose my pipes and all that again. I'd be amazed, you know, oh, it'll look pretty, but you're not going to see it whenever the floor cover's on. So as long as I level that off with that, I'll be happy enough. That's a bit higher there actually, but it'll do me, so it will. Probably ordinary cement would be the handiest thing for that. I might even try the postcrete there, you know. I'll hoover all these loose bits out, but the postcrete still lying a bit of a hull, while self-leveling wants to level, doesn't it? Put the self-leveling on there, so I'll make that perfect there, like. That's underneath my wee computer desk. Still haven't got the screws for these. They're a wee buggers through there, so I'm going to wait there past an electrical store, see if I'm buying them individually. They're right there in Amazon, but £9 for a pack. So the day on Screwfix. Amazon's not too bad. It's day on Screwfix. So I'll wait to see if I get them local in a wee local shop. So that's sort of almost dry there now. I'll say by the time I get this in there, that'll be. By the time I get that in there, that'll be dry. So there's the self-leveling stuff. It's really 50 millimeters. That's 5 centimeters. So that's pretty deep there, like. But it can't be any less than 3. And then the other one then is the 1 to 10 millimeter. And I'm going to put that on there, PVA. I've never used it before. I don't know if it's the right stuff or not. But I'll paint the floor with that there first. I don't know how long it takes to dry. And I might paint the walls with it as well, the wooden walls. And I said I don't want a whole pile of stuff left over. I might as well paint the walls with it. But that might be a later on job. I'll get the self-leveling floor compound on first. I got these here from the dump. I was dumping out concrete, so I grabbed offcuts of plasterboard, and I'm going to use that. That's drywall there actually. That's drywall, that one. Doesn't matter if it's drywall or plasterboard. It's all the same thing. Drywall's got the wee bevel in it, so you put the tape on. But everybody in this country plasters. It's got a bit of insulation on it. So I'm going to cut them into squares to cover up the old spotlight holes. And that's my fireproof barrier then. I've marked out the roof as best I can. It's very hard work. I'm using chalk lines. Postmodern people now would use lasers. But I was trying to work out, see, all these out holes need patched up. So I'll cover them up in the attic by putting on them bits of plaster. So that'll make it a fireproof barrier. But I'm not paying a plaster to plaster the ceiling. So I'm going to try and do something fancy with the ceiling. But I'm marking where the new lights have to go. And that wee star, that's where the lights should go. But there's no point in trying to patch that up for such a short distance. So I thought, right, I'll go by that light there. I'll say it was for sake of argument, I keep them two lights and get the other two to match. So when I get the other two to match, there's the wee star over there that matches that one. And the star, that star there matches that one. So I need to have this roof lowered slightly, just lowered about that much. So it covers them other two spotlights and that one, cover them three holes. But the only problem I have then is I didn't want to lower the bed. I didn't want it going lower the roof. I didn't want it going further down than the bed itself. But them spotlights there need hid. Them other two need hid. So whatever I do is, so what I have to do now then is to try and make it geometrical, or whatever you want to call the word. We'll say that's 1.5, 2 feet. That's probably 60 centimeters probably. So say that's 60 centimeters. I'll bring a 60 centimeters from the pelmet, and that's how I lower the roof. So, but like, so the blue line's going this way. That's the rafters. You need to know the rafters is because I have to screw everything into the rafters. The rafters are going to take the weight. The line's going this way. It's just so I can do a wee graft there every 1 foot. So I'll sort of draw it out on a piece of graph paper and try and make it so whatever I put up there can cross a rafter to screw into, but covers the holes. I've got the lights have come today. I need to get the lights in to get the insulation back on the attic because it's cold now this time of year. So I need to get the insulation back. I have the insulation taken off to get the wiring. So that's why I want to get the lights in. I don't need to lower the roof now. So I'll go on ahead and I'll wire them lights up. I'll put 4 lights in here. I ordered a 10-pack of lights. So I'll wire up them 4, see what lights off it. And I need to stick another one in there. But that roof's going to be lowered slightly. So I might need a hole in the roof. The wee lights have got fireproof ones. I'm all up to health and safety now. So, post-crate now, paint wall, self-leveling floor compound, then do radiator. I'm getting another small radiator for up here. That big radiator's coming off. But I've got a wee small one to go in place. And the idea is I'm going to build my bed on top of it. So the radiator is underneath the bed and the heat comes off and heats my bed up. That's the idea. But I always fancied buying a divan bed, where ottoman bed. I always fancied buying an ottoman bed which lifts up. But if I get an ottoman bed, it's $109 now in August, but it's not going to work with my radiator. So there's a choice between storage and heat, and I think I'd rather go for heat. So I bought the wee radiator. It's only about a metre long and 30 centimetres high, so you won't see it. And then I was thinking, then I'm going to screw this bed apart because I'm looking at how this bed's built together and there's 2 catches. So I want to see if it's possible to build that bed. Say I was to buy the ottoman bed by not using the headboard, can I build it to fit onto the wall? So it looks like an ottoman bed, but there's a radiator underneath. So I'll experiment with this one. So once I get this floor done, this bed's coming out of here before I do the plumbing. So that bed's probably coming out of here tonight. Get the whole floor. I get rid of all the dust and all the rest, and dust everywhere. So I'll get that hoovered up now, the rest of the dust. and then pipes, and we'll get that filled in. I put the self-leveling floor compound, the bed out now. Self-leveling floor compound put down last night. That needs raised up a bit more there. Thing is, that floor is not level either. Put some in there in that corner. So what I'm going to do now, I used 2 bags. That one was from 1 to 5 millimeters or something like that, and then the other one was from these deeper holes, was from about 3 or 4 millimeters to 15 millimeters deep. So this is deep, and then I put in quick drying cement postcrete in the hole, so you see I still need to put postcrete in there. So going by the look of that now, I'm going to need another 2 bags. £15 a bag, that's £60 there, like. It's going to be another 60, you wouldn't think £120 just to raise a wee bit of a floor up. And that's what I was saying before when I was chiseling out this whole floor. It'd be handy just chisel the whole thing away, but you've got to replace it. Replacing that takes time and money. But I'm going to tackle the radiator today, so I wanted to get this down so this board was sitting on the floor. But that radiator there, I was going to take that off and change this wee one. But the thing is, it's in the wrong place, it needs to come down. And I've tapped off that there when I moved into the house to go to the living room. That might be a problem. If that was compression fittings, I would just renew this pipe. If I could renew that pipe there, this is dead handy. I might break a bit of the floor up here on each side, because see the copper there. So if I can get a clean piece of copper, I'll be dead on then. Like, I can put a joint on and bring it over to the new radiator, and having it be a lot lower. So when I moved in here at the start, the wooden floor and all was on. I couldn't even see that. The wooden floor and all was on the skirting board, and have to shape that pipe. You'd never get that clean. So I just simply, that's the height the radiator was, and I just moved it up. How to keep it simple. I just moved into the house with a big mortgage. So, a big mortgage for me. So that's going to be an odd problem and so on. But the first thing I'm going to do now is I noticed this here, it's got 3 brackets on it. So I've got to get this in the middle of the wall at the right height. And then once I know what the right height, I know then where the plumbing goes. I'm not 100% sure if there's enough room up there for the plumbing. That's for my wee sink, that plumbing. That's for my wee sink. But these compression fittings take up more space. While if you're somewhere here with a solder gun, they would be a lot tighter together. So if I can, I'll put the other 2 pipes up there. If I can't, I'll bring it through this hollow wall here. This radiator here is coming off. There was an old radiator there when I moved in, so I'm tapping into that. That is one bit of it. So I'll be tapping into that, bringing the pipe into the cupboard. There's the other part of the radiator. I'll be tapping off that. I'm bringing the pipes up the wall. You just see the line faintly now through the paint. I'm bringing it up here so the pipes release a bit of heat into what's going to be my wardrobe that side, and I'll keep towels and all this side. I'll be boxing that wall in. These other walls will be left open. I'm putting these shelves and all that. And hopefully the other 2 pipes will fit out through there then. So run them bits of pipe there is easy enough. I'm just going to put on a wee 45-degree bend on them compression fitting. And then I'll start using push fittings then. And then I'll bring the pipe down inside this wall here. Might just put it in that button there. Draw the holes out and bring it to my new radiator. Need to put air vents under the radiator as well. But I'm going to wait till the skirting and all is on. See what height the radiator is, what space. Because I don't want air vents behind the radiator. That'd be a disaster. You want the air vents below the radiator, so the air can get up behind. So I'll work out the measurements now, and then I'll have to drain the whole system then. The way I drain it, I just loosen a valve and use the wet and dry vacuum cleaner. It takes ages, but it's the only way I know to drain it. It takes out any sludge and all as well. And if anything, if I don't, then I'll have to make my own bed then, because this radiator is up here. I want this radiator under the bed, not behind the bed. That's going under the bed, so I'll have to build my own bed. And then that way then, the heat coming off that, I get in my bed at night, the bed will be already warm. Heat getting into a cold bed. And like it's going to have its own thermostat, so that could be a different temperature from the main room. I find when you put on a big thick tarp duvet over your bed, there's no heat comes up to the floor in a bungalow. Bungalow's colder. Since I moved into this house, it's always colder in the bed at night. So a wee bit of heat underneath the bed. We'll get this measured out. Got this radiator in B&Q. 3 brackets on the back. I'll tell you the one thing I don't like about the measurements. It tells you all things like 120 degrees, like nobody's going to have more than that in a domestic house, are they? Like, but look at the measurements. That measurement is unimportant because you're using the brackets. It is what it is. You know, so saying that, you have a narrow one and a wide one there. So that's the minimum. So I'll keep mine as a minimum. It's telling you the height from the bottom of the radiator to the floor. It's not giving you the height from the bottom of the bracket to the floor. All I needed was the height from the bottom of the bracket so I could screw my brackets on. And I didn't need to know what height has to be off the floor because I knew that it would be okay, like. So they're making it harder. Now I'm going to have to now measure from there to there and add on the distance of the... Just could have made it easier. All these measurements practically unimportant to me. You know, from the middle of the bracket to the edge of the bracket. That sounds like, oh, my wee Luna's back. The last Sunday kidnapped you, did she? Oh, well, you know what? I have my chips on and we'll be getting fed shortly. I'll tell you what's so annoying here, like, there's wee plastic catches go in this here. And, this was you're supposed to get here, you see. Like, that's already in the radiator. That's already in the radiator. That was to the side of the radiator. And my key and these wee fasteners. I need them fasteners. It wouldn't matter about the screws. You think they're going to be in a wee box? I have taken nothing out of this room here. I pulled the cardboard off there now. The clamps were just sitting taped against the side. A bit like this one here. The clamps are on the outside. That one's different because it's got packaging there. There was no packaging on the side of that radiator. Just bits of cardboard. There's the plastic. Where about is the accessories? You think if the screws and all, like, I didn't want to unwrap the whole radiator, but I'm taking it off the top now and the front. You're not going to pack screws at the front, are you? Then I thought, would they put it inside? I can't see it down in there, like. And it's not to say you could pick it up and swing it around. So total weight, it's over 50 kilograms. What weight is this? Oh, about 50 kilograms. I can't just lift it up and toss it around looking for a pack of screws. You're going to put screws anyway. You think you put them on the back. Because it doesn't matter if the back got damaged. Wasting time now looking for a pack of screws, like. I've opened the wee one up. Maybe I'll find out what the screws are in the wee one. I don't know if that's the same brand. It's the same brand. But I'm not 100% sure if I can fit the wee one. I might have to take it back. This is annoying here. When I pick it up, this is annoying, this. I found the screws on the very bottom. When you get the pack, it shows you an arrow this way up. And that's the way you're going to hold it up when you go to unpack it. Now I have this completely unwrapped. It's more exposed now to getting damaged. That's annoying now, like. So say remove screws first, like. It's just, if it's small radiator, it wouldn't matter. It's just the sheer weight of it. So, I'll try and leave this down now, not mark it, try and drag with it. It's a two-person job now just to get a pack of screws out. You're able to have the radiator sitting further out from the wall or closer into the wall. But I'm thinking here, why would they give you a choice? The radiator probably works better with an air gap behind it. Because the whole idea heat has to rise. Nobody deliberately wants to have a radiator sticking out further than it has to be. And it might be more inefficient by keeping it in tight. I have a TV behind that, so I might opt to keep it out anyway for the TV to allow more air to circulate behind it. But it doesn't tell you why there's the choice. There's nothing there to say you can have it slim, but you won't be as efficient. Just stick it on whatever way you want. Well, wipe it down with a wee cloth when you're finished. Soak the water. So, I'll stick these 3 brackets on, and then when I get them on, I'll take them off, put on this foil behind, and then put the brackets back on. They're ready to hang up, and then plumb. Got the radiator up the wall. I will say one thing. See this bedroom? Far harder than putting in a fitted kitchen. A fitted kitchen, units come set sizes and you put them in, you got your plan and all the rest, and you sort of know what you're doing. You run into problems like crooked walls and stuff, but you sort of know what you're doing. This here, everything's a problem. The instructions for the radiator says minimum for 110 off the floor. By the time I measured and got it up, it's a ton weight. How to get it lifted? I had to use the carry jack to lift it up. So 50 kilograms or something. Too hard to be lifting that. But it actually ended up higher than what I wanted. And had I been a younger person, I would have lowered it down because I don't want heat going to the TV. But that's what it is. So instead of being that 6 inches above, now 6 inches is what my other radiators are in the house. So by the time you put on a 4-inch skirting board and you got the pipe, that's actually okay with us, except for the fact that I've got the TV. But we see this is what the problem is. I'm using the Brothers Out pipe bender. It's not bending the pipes right. It's kinking. I'm getting kinks. It's not supposed to kink like. And so I've used push-on fittings there and only put a half a bend in it. If I had a pipe bender that would go the right way, I could do all sorts of things. So that pipe is now going level. Now bearing in mind the radiator's lower than I wanted, that's the height it is because of the size of the valve and all. But look at this. When I bought this wall here, the timber's recycled. It wasn't long enough. Oh, I put 2 battens going across, I thought. Look at that then. Guess where the pipes come out? Where the battens. And then of course, well, you know there was a screw there. And you know there was a big nut on the wood there. So even taking that bit of wood out there was a fight. So it was a big lump of nut. It wasn't going to come out easily. That wee saw there is a lifesaver. But that saw can do there. It's got me out of a few pickles. That's left me now, that's where the 2 pipes are coming in. So next thing I have to do now is drain the water. Might leave that till tomorrow. We're going to need that as well. So get something to eat. So I'll drain the water tomorrow. Get them. That there should be straightforward. A wee bit of bend in the pipe to get that. So that's straightforward, linking there. All depends where I can get 2 more pipes fitted above that roof. I'll definitely get one in. And when the pipes come to here, I'll just go at an angle. I'll just count what fittings I have now, make sure I can finish it off. And so I'll do that now actually. I'll give us a wee hoover up. But the whole idea now, I want the heat of the radiator to be lower. Now, I suppose take off that radiator as well. Now, that's going to be a big hanging too, like. Everything's a hanging. So the water needs drained for that. But right, I could drain it tonight, you know. But I don't like the idea of water drained overnight and you're in your bed. Maybe it starts coming in. Come up and wake up in the morning, water everywhere. So that's as good as I can do there. When I make this top, I have to put a new top on here now so it comes over the radiator. The top is slightly bigger now. That was always a wee demonstration top, wee sample. But when the TV lifts up, I left the insulation too long because I'm hoping to curve that across. But that ain't going to work if this lifts up. Maybe it will work. It's something I have to sort out. So if I get a top that goes on across, I want to curve that forward out the ways. So it helps throw the heat out. That's the idea. So I've left it too long. I really should start draining the water now and get this finished. I think I'll leave it until tomorrow. Drain the water first thing tomorrow morning. Or I might even leave it the next week. The radiator's up, and I want the radiator up because it's going to get damaged. It's in the way. Ton of weight. I'll tell you what confused about the radiator. These things came in rubber washers, but it says in the instructions it shows you need plumber's tape. I always put them on my plumber's tape, but they haven't left enough of room for the plumber's tape where the washers on them. It's too narrow. The fittings at the bottom, that's just standard, no rubber in them. They don't supply them, you see. So that there didn't have a rubber washer on, plenty of room for the plumber's tape. So I put a wee bit of plumber's tape on one and didn't put it on the other. And we'll see what happens. I don't think it needs plumber's tape. But why the instructions showed plumber's tape, they were included, you see. So I don't know. The only thing with these here, they're not under the same pressure as mains water. But the worst thing about it, if you do get a leak, you have to drain the whole system again, which is a hassle. I was looking for wee drain plugs, but wee drain plugs all seem to have to be soldered in. I can't solder. All I can do is compression fittings. So I'll leave it with that there now. That's all I can do. That white's different colour from that white. See that? The joint. A wee chrome compressed fitting might look nice there. Nah, nice said it'd be going short, they'll not see it. So I'll do a wee tidy up here now. I'm putting on this small radiator now. So what I've done with the small radiator, when I moved into the house, I plumbed up one in the living room. And I couldn't strip the paint off the pipes because there was too much paint on them. So all I could do was to hide this one up and take a T-bend off. Right, come on. The radiator is all plumbed up now and going. I put the wee one there, it's going to go under the bed. That's only there for, that's the old bed I had. I just set on top to get a rough idea on heights. But it's coming right. But the wee radiator's there, it's going to go underneath the new bed. The good big one is along here. I'm going to put a new top on this. It's going to come over like a radiator shelf. The heating pipes are coming up inside this wall. So I'm going to put some lagging in them where they're near the cables. I'll put lagging to stop the cables heating up. That cable will be coming away. That's the oil burner. A new cable will be going in for the oil burner whenever I'm moving into the room. Bottom two pipes is water pipes, and the top two pipes is the central heating pipes. And the water pipes are going to this wee sink, and central heating pipes go on. I made a slight mistake putting in the central heating pipes because there was a batten of wood going across there. The pipes went down slightly downhill, but that means then I would have had air gathering up because of the thickness of them connectors. If that was soldered, they came a lot closer together. Because of the compression fittings connectors, you got a bigger space. The only thing I didn't notice, these connectors is the one I used, the local plumbers had, and it's about £20 for 10 of them, and you need a special key to release them. And there's some places you can't get the key in, depending where you have them. I'll show you an example in a minute. The connectors above are £16 for 20. Don't need a tool. Got them in screw figs. A bit dodgy about them, so I stuck for what I knew to begin with. And then I took a chance on them wee ones. See how much more small they are? They're far better. You just loosen. You loosen the wee turn thing on it. Push the button in and releases. Far handier. I should have used them from the start. Can't mind the brand. I'll write that brand in the bottom of the video. But you can see how much neater they are, how much smaller. So that worked out better. So it meant then you see there where I had the pipes and all fitted originally, all nice and level, nice and neat. So I had to disconnect the clips and move them up high. And so that's where it's vented up into the attic. Because you see what I mean now, if I had to release that, how do you release that with a tool? You can't release that either, anyway. And then I put an air release valve in that one. And so they have to be insulated up in the attic as well. But see how complicated it is, like, it's complicated. And then that's where the pipes came out of the floor. There was a radiator there, a wee small radiator when I moved in. I disconnected it, it wasn't doing nothing. So I have tapped off that, brought the pipes a long way. I've measured out 600 mils right here. That's roughly what a wardrobe would be. So nothing's going to touch these pipes. That's to give heat off inside the wardrobe. I'm about to put this board on now. I'll move this board a minute. So there's the water pipes coming down now into the back of the sink. The other radiator pipe just comes on the other side underneath the sink. So that was the original radiator. When I took away the original waste pipe for the washing machine was in the middle of the floor. There's the brackets for it there. It was in the middle of the floor. But it went that way instead of straight down. That meant then when I came out here, look at how complicated the joints I had to do with that there to get that to go to the sink. No idea there's going to be that much work there. Like, you don't see half the work. I'm not putting a second skin on this here, on this wall. And I'm not putting a second skin on this bit of wall. I'm going to run an Ethernet cable down. And I can get in there the cables. There's nothing going to be touching this. So I'm going to box in this bit of wall here. This is going to be for all my towels, stuff like that, duvets. So I'm going to bring the tumble dryer in here. So then when the stuff comes out of the tumble dryer, I'll hang my clothes up on the rails here. And I'll put the towels and duvet covers and all that kind of stuff on these shelves. So it makes better sense to have the tumble dryer in here. That's the controller for my new oil. When I'm using that. That allowed me to put the oil off and on with my phone, and also change the temperature. So if I'm coming home and I want the oil on, I can set the temperature of the water as well as the time. So that's the original 13 amp socket there, and the other original 13 amp sockets over there. So I have more or less linked the two together, put a new ring circuit in. Any wee final holes will be sealed up, make sure no mice come down. So I've still got the insulation off in the attic, which needs to go on pretty quick. I'm just waiting to get spotlights on there, and I'll be sealing up all them holes in. But all I'm going to do today now is I'm going to get this wee shelves above for laundry, and then I'll get the rail up here. I'll put more self-leveling floor compound. There's 2 coats in that already, believe it or not. There's quick drying cement, a post crate to fill up the big holes I dug out, and then there's self-leveling floor compound that goes to a pretty deep depth. So this stuff I've got now can go from, I can't mind now, to do that floor anyway. So we'll get that floor completely leveled off and one more cut. Yeah, I couldn't fill up in one go. There's nothing that would fill up the full depth. I put a new radiator in the hall as well when I was at it. And so what I have to do now is one in my spare bedroom, the one I'm using at the minute, and I want to get another one in the living room. I'll do them next summer. That's the house up and going now. Like, I didn't mind chance putting on 5 radiators in one go, because nothing worked.